Welcome to my channel. I'm Connor, and I'm here to help you speak English with confidence. Let me ask you this. Do you ever freeze up when trying to speak English? Struggle to find the right words, feel anxious, or worry about sounding wrong? But today, I'm going to show you how to break through that fear. In this video, I'll share simple, proven techniques that will help you overcome speaking anxiety. Stop second-guessing yourself and start talking like a confident communicator. Imagine expressing yourself clearly, joining conversations with ease, and finally sounding natural. That's the goal. And the best part? You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be brave. So if you're ready to turn nervous silence into powerful speech, hit play, and let's build your English fluency together. Chapter 1: The Power of Preparation. The truth is, confidence doesn't magically appear. It grows from preparation. And when it comes to speaking English, preparation is your best friend. That's where we begin, not with flashy words or complex phrases, but with the fundamentals. Mastering the building blocks of English is like laying a strong foundation for a house. Without it, every conversation feels shaky, uncertain. But when you know the structure, everything becomes smoother, more natural. Let's start with pronunciation, one of the most overlooked yet powerful parts of English speaking. You might have a rich vocabulary or perfect grammar, but if people can't understand what you're saying, it becomes frustrating. And that frustration leads to silence. So how do you improve pronunciation? Start small. Choose 5 words a day that are hard for you. Use online tools like Forvo or Youglish to hear how native speakers pronounce them in real conversations. Repeat them aloud. Record yourself. Listen. Compare. It might feel awkward, even silly at first, but this daily habit works. Slowly, your tongue adjusts, your mouth gets used to the rhythm, and suddenly, your words begin to land the way they should. Then comes grammar. I know what you're thinking. Grammar can feel boring, technical, maybe even overwhelming. But think of it as the blueprint of English. You don't have to memorize every rule to speak fluently, but understanding the basics, subject-verb agreement, simple tenses, question formation, gives you the freedom to build real conversations. Focus on high-frequency grammar structures that are used in everyday speech. For example, instead of worrying about the future perfect continuous tense, start with present simple and past simple. Nail those first. You'll be amazed at how much clearer your speech becomes when you stop overthinking and start using what actually works. Now let's talk vocabulary. Most learners try to memorize long lists of words, hoping to sound smart or advanced. But memorization without context doesn't stick. So instead of learning 100 new words a week, focus on 10 that you'll actually use. Pick words related to your life, your job, hobbies, daily routines. Use them in your speaking practice immediately. Create mini stories or sentences with them. The goal isn't to know a million words. It's to own the words you already know. When you do that, fluency follows naturally. But building your language system is only half of the preparation puzzle. The second half? Practice, practice, practice. Speaking is not a knowledge problem. It's a performance problem. You could know everything in theory, and still freeze when it's your turn to talk. That's why consistent speaking practice is non-negotiable. Luckily, you don't need to live in an English-speaking country to practice every day. You just need to get a little creative. Start by using language exchange platforms like HelloTalk, Tandem, or Speaky. These apps connect you with native speakers who want to learn your language while helping you learn theirs. It's a win-win. Don't worry about being perfect. The point is to engage in real conversations, even if they're messy. You'll learn more from a 10-minute voice chat than from hours of silent reading. You'll also begin to develop rhythm, the natural music of spoken English. Another option? Join speaking clubs or online conversation groups. Many are free and run weekly sessions on Zoom or Telegram. The benefit here is that you get to hear different accents, practice group communication, and most importantly, get over the fear of public speaking. At first, you may be nervous. Your heart might race, your mind might go blank. That's okay. It's not about being fearless. It's about doing it scared until the fear fades. If live interaction feels too intimidating right now, start by talking to yourself in English. Describe what you're doing. Narrate your day. Argue with yourself about what to eat. It sounds strange, but it rewires your brain to think in English. And when you can think in English, speaking becomes 10 times easier. Remember, every minute you speak is a deposit into your confidence bank. Alongside all this technical work, there's one often ignored tool that can transform your journey: visualization. This isn't wishful thinking. It's a proven psychological technique used by athletes, public speakers, and yes, even language learners. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself walking into a room full of English speakers. You feel calm, grounded. Someone asks you a question, and you respond smoothly. Your voice is steady. You're smiling. People nod and laugh. They understand you. You're not just surviving the moment, you're owning it. This isn't just imagination, it's mental rehearsal. And your brain responds to it almost the same way it does to real-life practice. If you repeatedly visualize successful conversations, your anxiety begins to shrink. You build positive associations with speaking English instead of fear-based ones. Start your day with this simple routine: 3 minutes of visualization before your practice session. See yourself winning. Hear your voice sounding clear. Over time, your brain will believe it, and your mouth will follow. Remember, preparation isn't just about language drills. It's about building emotional safety. Most learners fail to speak confidently, not because they don't know English, but because they don't trust themselves. So preparation becomes your armor. It shields you from the panic of, what if I forget a word? Or, what if they laugh at my accent? Because when you've practiced enough, when you've visualized enough, and when you've understood the building blocks, you no longer fear the unknown. You're ready for it. Let me give you a real example. One of my students, Maria, had studied English for 6 years but couldn't speak more than a few sentences. She thought something was wrong with her. We didn't start with speaking. We started with rebuilding her foundation, pronunciation, key grammar, and 10 words a week. We added 5 minutes of self-talk a day. Then once a week, she joined a language exchange. After 1 month, she told me, I had my first full conversation in English without freezing. That's the power of preparation, not magic, just method. Here's something else to keep in mind. Progress is not linear. Some days your English will flow. Other days, you'll fumble on simple words. That's normal. Don't let a bad practice session convince you that you're not improving. Fluency is built through repetition, reflection, and resilience. Celebrate your small wins. Did you use a new phrase today? That counts. Did you record yourself for 60 seconds without stopping? That's progress. Keep stacking these wins. Also, don't isolate your practice to one method. Rotate between speaking, listening, reading, and writing. They support each other. Watch shows with subtitles, then shadow the dialogue. Read short stories aloud. Write journal entries about your day. Everything you do in English strengthens your speaking skills, directly or indirectly. Let's not forget feedback. Practicing without correction can form bad habits, so once a week, ask a language partner or tutor to give you gentle but honest feedback. Focus on 1 or 2 corrections, not 10. You're not trying to be perfect, just a little better than yesterday. At this stage, one major mistake learners make is comparing themselves to others. She sounds like a native. He speaks faster than me. Comparison kills progress. The only person you should compete with is the version of you from last week. If you're more confident than you were a month ago, you're winning. To wrap this up, preparation is not about becoming flawless. It's about becoming fearless. When you understand how English works, when you practice daily in small ways, when you visualize success, something shifts. You stop seeing English as a mountain and start seeing it as a path you can walk, step by step. So go back to the basics. Build your foundation. Speak daily, even if it's messy. Picture yourself succeeding. And most of all, believe that you can become the speaker you've always dreamed of being. Because with the right preparation, you're already halfway there.